I give the moderators an A++. I thought that they did a masterful job.
Oh,
now,
interesting. We'll have
in terms of Vice President Harris, I thought that she did what she came to do tonight, which was to introduce herself and address the American people directly, and then to make the case against former President Donald Trump, who she addressed and took on directly.
She's not going to eat no more
many
jelly
points.
bellies. I had to say that out loud. Sorry.
Sorry.
Errin,
I was eating jelly beans and they're telling me to be quiet with the bag.
I tried to tell her. I tapped her in the arm.
I'm sorry, you guys.
She
Sorry, Errin, in the middle of your brilliant point.
Yes, Errin.
Listen, it was,
I mean,
first of all, that debate was more than 90 minutes. So, I mean, shout out to
was.
you for, I mean, I think we all needed snacks. So I don't blame you. It's okay. It's okay. We love jelly beans. I wish I had some. But no, like, she did what she came to do. Meanwhile, you had former President Trump, who really took the bait, it felt like, on multiple occasions where she was not taking the bait at all. He didn't really look at her very much. I think that was probably a strategy. And then also, at one point, kind of found myself wondering, is this a debate Trump versus Harris or Trump versus David Muir? Because that seems to be the only person he was interested in talking to tonight. You know what I mean?
The other white man. Just so we're clear, you gave the moderators A++, Kamala Harris.
I would say she probably gets a solid A.
What about Trump?
I would say well, I mean, I guess it depends on what he thought the assignment was, you know.
But from what you thought the assignment was.
Your standards.
I would say that it was probably a failing grade because there was no policy plan for the American people. Yeah. He spent a lot more time attacking her than he did telling the American people what he would do. And of course, there were a lot of falsehoods happening throughout the night.
A lot of
We disagree on them. I'm shocked because we have different opinions on the moderators. Elie, I'm curious to hear your opinion. Moderators, Trump and Kamala, or Vice President Harris, excuse me. What do you say?
Yeah, so I'll start with the moderators. I'll give them a B, maybe a B+. I'm a little bit of a tough grader. I do agree that, especially Lindsay in the beginning, fact-checking him on the abortion lie, I thought was particularly important. Muir going back and forth with him on exactly who might be eating pets where, also quite useful. But as I was saying in the last segment, it's almost like Trump wore them down. Right. And like as the debate went on, I think they let him talk more. They let him get the last word for every single question from the midway point on, just because he was shouting so much. And so I just think that it takes a lot of stamina to contend with Trump for 90 minutes. And I don't know that the moderators had it. So that's why I'm kind of giving them a B+ range. Harris gets an A+ because she had the stamina. Right. Yeah. She never lost her edge. Honestly, and I know I'm a little bit biased here because not just because I'm a Democrat, but because like really competent women is kind of my thing. I think that was the best presidential debate performance I've seen in my life. Like just in terms of the degree of difficulty of debating, you're debating a circus clown. All right. She's coming in, end of the campaign, she has to deal with the Biden PTSD disaster. She's got to be both dismissive of his foolery, but serious about the danger of the threat. And that is a line both literally laughing at him when he's making no sense, but also reinforcing and re-highlighting how uniquely dangerous he is to the American people, while also setting up yourself as the new charismatic, energetic. He calls her Joe Biden. She says, "Actually, I'm here to bring a new generation of leadership."
That was so good.
To do that all in 90 minutes without ever getting the last word, I think that's an A. I think that was the degree of difficulty was high. That is Greg Louganis off of some kind of high board. No splash, right? So I think she gets an A. For Trump, like Errin, it depends on what you thought the assignment was. It depends on what he was actually trying to do.
So put yourself in the mind of if you think he was there to perform a job, rank him against that.
So let me try to take away all of my empathy and knowledge and pretend that I'm a MAGA voter, right? So let me try to understand what it's like to only be able to breathe through my mouth and never have read a book.
Wow.
If I think about it that way, I give the president a C because even if I'm that kind of MAGA person, I want to see him pugilistic and combative, and I want to see him funny and entertaining. And he wasn't those things. He was combative towards the moderators, not to Harris. Yeah. He wasn't funny in any way. He wasn't entertaining in any way. He didn't really have any great one-liners, and he just seemed,
we were laughing at him, not with him.
Right, and he seemed more whiny, right, than anything else. And so at the end, I think his worst line of the night that again Harris kind of baited him into was when the moderators baited him into was when they were asking him about his healthcare plan that he's had 9 years to come up with, and he's like, I have the concepts of a plan. Even for MAGA voters, right? It's like, well, no, you either have a plan or you don't care. I have the concepts of a plan. Man, that sounds like something a weak-ass professor might say, right? So, like, I think even on MAGA's own scorecard, I can't give him more than a C.
Native Land Pod is a production of iHeart Radio in partnership with Reason Choice Media. For more podcasts from iHeart Radio, visit the iHeart Radio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.